And we are live. Hey, everybody. I'm Glenn, one of the owners at Febrow's Microblading Academy USA here in Boca Raton. And in the other window, you've got Febrow's master, Leslie Ritchie, who's going to be participating on the call today. And so we've got about 4 minutes to go. We're going to be getting started shortly. So this will be our business building live streaming class. And we're going to be going over some amazing strategies that are going to help you build your microblading business and get it to, if you're just getting started, get you off the ground from literally zero to your first 10 or 15 clients. And if you are already certified and you're starting to make your way, how do you get to the next level from where you're at? So we're going to be getting started shortly. Again, I'm Glenn, one of the owners here at Febrow's Microblading Academy. And here you've got, in the other window, you've got Leslie Ritchie. And wave hi, Leslie.
Hi, everyone.
Leslie is a lot prettier than I am. So she's the pretty one. All right, so we've got about 3 minutes to go. So we're going to let people continue to get in here. So we have a lot of people jumping on the call right now. So this is one of our live streaming classes that we do that's just for our paid students. It's one of the additional benefits that you get as a student of Febrow's Microblading Academy USA, which is our specific academy out of Boca Raton, Florida. We're an official Febrow's Academy. And if you can hear us, would you please type the number 1 in the chat, just so we can confirm that you can hear us. So go ahead and type number 1 in there, and let's make sure everybody can hear us this time. We're going to be getting started in about 2 minutes. There we go. All right. Leslie, it worked this time. Okay. Hey, everybody. All right. So again, I'm Glenn, and that's Leslie in the other window. We're going to be getting started in just about 2 minutes. We have a bunch of people joining in, so we want to give everybody enough time to join the class. And today we're going to be talking about business building. We're going to talk about strategies, how to get yourself from the certification course to up and running and then beyond. And so we've got a lot of things that we're going to discuss today that should be very helpful for all of you. And if you have questions, you can feel free to type your questions into the chat box. If you're listening to this or watching this on your phone or on your iPad or your tablet or even your computer, either way, you've got a chat window and you can type any questions that you've got. We'll try our best to answer every one of those questions. Everyone's starting from a different starting point, and so we're going to try to provide content tonight that will be helpful for all of you. And it is 8:59, so we're going to get started in just about 1 more minute. Again, for those of you who are just joining, I'm Glenn, one of the owners here at Febrow's Microblading Academy USA. We're out of Boca Raton, Florida. In the other window, you've got Master Leslie Ritchie. She's one of our Febrow's master trainers. She's currently located in Arizona, but she will be out of San Diego shortly. Is that correct, Leslie?
Yes, very shortly.
Yeah. And if any of you want to see what the actual academy looks like when there's no classes going on, check it out. There it is. That's the Fee Academy. Don't mind the wires on the floor. That's what happens when we do a live streaming class. All right. All right. So it's 9 o'clock. We like to start these things off promptly. And so again, just to kind of summarize this real quick, we're going to talk about business building strategies. So we're going to start from zero. We're going to start from the point that imagine you just took our course and you're just working on learning the art of microblading, and it takes more than just learning the art and mastering the art of microblading to be successful. You need both to get really good at microblading, but you also need to market yourself effectively. And so that's the subject of today's live streaming class. And so, Leslie, let's get right into the first question, which is, how do you go from 0 to 10 or 15 clients? And when you answer this question, if you need me to go over to your Instagram page or anywhere you need me to go, I'll just share my screen and you tell me where to go and we'll go.
Okay, first of all, I will set up social media. as you know, social media, you buy stuff, you share what you're selling, you look for stuff for a service, for a place, for anything. So I feel like most of your models or most of your clients are going to come from social media. So I will set up social media. I will set up Instagram, which I love, and Facebook. You can also have more social media, but these are my two favorites. Also, by creating hashtags for these social media so they can always find you. And also, I don't know if you're going to go to not social media, Glenn, or you want me to talk a little bit more about social media?
Well, yeah, one of the things is that we were going to discuss, like Leslie mentioned, is offline marketing. Yes. So there's online marketing and there's traditional offline marketing. And so Leslie was suggesting that you create your online profile and your branding online first before you go and do the offline marketing. But Leslie, just continue just for a minute, just briefly, because we'll get more into this a little bit later when we go over the subject of how do you take your business like to the next level and really get to, you know, from starting to charge money for the service and then starting to charge a nice rate for the service. But how do you really get to the next level? We'll get into some more of the details with social media, but describe what, how you would set up the Facebook page. What are they trying to post? What sort of content should they be putting up there?
So first of all, I will come up with a username that it's not hard to spell, that it's catchy and very easy to memorize. For example, you're not going to use Brow Beauty Queen Yuma. Like, it's catchy, but it's too many words in one username. So be like Brow Beauty or Microblading Beauty, or like a catchy name that it's going to identify you, it's going to represent you, and it's going to be very easy for them to look at and be catchy when they look at it. They're going to remember it. So,
I'm going to show them your Instagram real quick while you're explaining this, okay?
Yes. Now, you're going to look at if you want to show them my Instagram, I changed my Instagram username because it allows me a couple times. Why? Because I had it as Brow Boss by Leslie. Brow Boss by Leslie, but I changed it to Video Studio because now, as you can see in the first photo, I am moving to San Diego. I'm opening my studio over there. So now I integrated Rocio. So now it's no longer by Leslie. So now it's a studio where we're going to have more microblading artists, fibra artists.
Right.
So now, come up with that catchy name that is very short and that people can memorize. And then create nice flyers, for example, or nice before and after pictures. Maybe it's not going to be your work because you don't have any work, right? You're going from 0 to maybe 10 clients. That's why we're here. We're talking about it. But maybe you could share my work. Maybe you could share Claire's work with her logo. Say, this is my teacher's work. This is my colleague's work. I'm practicing to get there. Just create that those posts so you could get their attention and they could start following you. Okay, So
Leslie, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to make sure that that's clear to someone who's listening. So when they're at the beginning stages and they're not really even yet working on people, they haven't even gone out to ask anybody to try to even be their model yet. You're suggesting that they have their social media, at least their Instagram, set up and populate it with some photos. And if they don't have before and after photos of their own work, they can post photos, for example, like this, of your work, because it's going to have your logo on it, and it's not like they're presenting your work as their work, but at least they have work and before and after pictures of microblading on their Instagram page, so that when people do go to their Instagram page or check them out, they're going to find beautiful pictures of microblading or brow shading, whatever it might be. Is that right?
Yes. Now, go back to the other photo, Glenn, to the one that's shaped. I will create a caption that says, that one. I will create a caption. If I was to share this photo on your Instagram because you don't have any before and after pictures of your work or anything of your doing, I will share this picture and I will say, I love the way we come up with the shape, the fibrows, by using the golden mean or by using our compass, or like look at the symmetry, or like, you know, like quotes like that. So it could be like, oh my God, they use a compass to like come up with that shape. That's pretty cool. Always educating our clients. It's your best marketing. It's your best marketing. So now, if they want to see what's microblading, you could post a before and after picture, and you could say, this is my colleague's work, this is my master's work, my teacher's work, whatever you want, and say, I'm practicing every day to achieve this kind of before and after work, or something like that. It's gonna get you, you know, that those followers, and then you could start getting your clients.
Okay, so let me call a timeout here for 1 second, because I love everything that you're saying. One of the things that grabbed me about what you're describing here is you're sort of suggesting that they tell a story, right?
Right.
Tell a story in the sense that they might be posting work that's not even necessarily theirs. They're educating, or what we call sometimes edutainment, right? Because you're putting a compelling picture or a really cool picture that would be entertaining or interesting to them, but you're also adding an element of education by the fact that in the description, they would be making a comment that educates in addition to providing an entertaining or interesting picture. But then you also suggested that they sort of bring their audience, their followers into their journey, so to speak, like, yeah, and bring them along as they're experiencing their development. Because you don't have, see, I think some people may feel a little bit uncomfortable about the fact that, hey, you know, I'm just getting started, I'm not that good yet, or I don't feel that confident enough to really show my work yet, whatever the case might be. But you don't have to feel embarrassed about that. I think in the exact opposite way, you can go with that, and you could go with wherever you are in the process and demonstrate where you're going, what you're doing, what stage you're at. And like Leslie is describing, and I think that's really endearing to people. People appreciate anyone who's going through something and trying to get somewhere, because we're all trying to get somewhere, or we wish we were trying to get somewhere. And when somebody else striving to get somewhere, there's aspects about that we can appreciate, and it's attractive. Yeah, Leslie?
Yeah. And I want to say, Glenn, by you posting these pictures that might not be yours, but you can post in between those pictures, you could post one picture, maybe one really nice selfie of you, like practicing with your practice skin, and saying, I practice every day to give my clients the best results, you know? Things like this, you're gonna build, even though you don't know this, you're gonna build a relationship between you and that person on the other side. Why am I telling you? Because when I started, when I had 0 clients and nobody knew about microblading, nobody knew that I was doing microblading, I started taking selfies, taking pictures of my fake skin, you know, and saying, practicing, so one day I could give you this beautiful before and after, and I will post a really before and after picture of a colleague. And then I started building a relationship, Glenn, with that person that I don't even know who. Why? Because 1 year later, they came to my shop and they said, I've been following you since day one. So you didn't get them maybe that week, that first
right,
you were practicing, but you are going to get them maybe in a few months. So it's very important for you to also create a story and try to, not to be compelling, but just be honest. You know, I'm practicing, I'm trying hard, I'm trying to do this. And that way you're going to get clients. People are going to like you. People are going to admire you. And they're going to be like your fans, honestly. It happened to me. There's people that come to me and they tell me, oh my God, I remember when you started 1.5 years ago, and
right,
and when you posted your first work that you were practicing, like I wanted to see how you grew, So when I saw maybe that you were really good, I was going to come to you. And that's what they did. They came to me a year and a half later. So I really believe that you have to be very professional about it. It doesn't mean that you have to pay a social media expert. You don't have to pay all this money to do it. You have it right there in your phone. I'm going to give you a little bit, what is a sneak peek? Well, Glenn already told most of the students that we're going to have a social media live stream.
A marketing course.
Oh, a course. Sorry, not live streaming. That we're going to talk more about this, like how to create like really nice posts and all of that. And you could do it right from your house, taking good quality pictures, all of that. But I'm not going to get into detail because we're going to be here all night. But I feel like you could get go from 0 to 15 clients in a very short time if you have a really nice username, a really nice post. I'm going to share a flyer with you guys. I don't know if you guys you have control of the emails, right, Glenn? I made a flyer for them, and they can use this flyer so they can look more professional, more catchy, and get models or clients.
So Leslie, let me jump in for 1 second, because this is a good time to talk about how do you integrate social media marketing. And by the way, we're only talking about one platform here. We're only talking about Instagram, because Facebook is a whole other platform. Pinterest is a whole other platform. There's a lot of, you could use YouTube and video marketing, which to me is one of the most powerful things. I use video marketing constantly. We're constantly using testimonial videos, student success series, interviews. Many of you who are on this live streaming class have seen a lot of that content, and that very, very well have, it may have persuaded you to take our course in the first place. And just the same, you could use those techniques for yourself to persuade your prospective clients to get in contact with you to get microblading done, right? But let's talk about how this social media integrates with offline marketing for just a moment. So you see here what Leslie used. She used a flyer or an image for Models Wanted. And she actually had a specific date. And Leslie, would you describe this a little bit? Because I want to transition to talking about how they could go to local community groups, to Craigslist. And
actually, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but from Instagram, you could share that post into your like page. You could join them together. So it's only one work at the time, and it does two things. And you go into two different platforms.
Into which page, you said?
Okay, from your Instagram, as soon as you create that post, like the one you're seeing now, it gave me an option to share. It gives me an option to share, and I could share it into my Facebook. So I'm doing—
Oh, your Facebook. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I'm doing things for one. So, and then you get two platforms. So here in this flyer, I needed models for Scottsdale. I put, what I wanted in big, Models Wanted. And first of all, you have to, before getting clients, you're going to have to work for very little amount of money. But you're going to build a portfolio, and that's going to get you clients. Because if you don't have a portfolio, then guess what? People are not going to go to you because you're not showing them your work. It's not just showing them what your colleague does. So I think it's worth the investment. Let's call it an investment, working for free, because you're investing in building a portfolio. Right. So,
and by the way, working for free, it is an investment. Obviously, it's an investment of time, but you're also getting practice out of it. Yeah. And there's so many businesses, like our business right here, cost a lot of money to do a lot of these things. You're talking about an investment simply of your time, not very little investment of actual dollars, just in the supplies that you need.
And guess what, Glenn? These students that are watching us, they invested thousands of dollars, right? So it's worth investing a little bit more to build a portfolio, and you're going to get all that money back. And it's going to be even better because they're going to see an actual before and after of your work, and that's how you're going to sell your service, your microblading session. So like I said, this is a flyer that I created that said models wanted, right? And you're going to invest your time. You're going to do your models so you could create a portfolio. Now, I did like specifically like what I wanted, for example, like must be over 18. And you could copy this information for your use. I would not mind at all. So you can use like must be over 18, no previous permanent makeup, no major health problems, must not be pregnant or breastfeeding, all the little details so they know if they're a good candidate for this and or not. You must put the date, the time, you know, to see if they're available, or maybe when you guys speak, you guys could come up with a nice agreement on the time and the place.
Leslie, can I interrupt one just real quick? If all of you notice, Leslie put a call to action here. You're going to hear me use that word, or that phrase, call to action. This is very, very important. Putting up any sort of marketing, there's always got to be a call to action. It's an action that you want the viewer or the follower to take after consuming whatever it is that your content is, your photos, your videos, whatever it is. After they're looking at this, you want them to direct them to take an action. And so in this particular case, Leslie asked them, here's her call to action. She asked them to send an email. Now, the email that she asked them to send to, look what it says. It says microblading.info@gmail.com. I highly recommend, if you're not going to already have a website, excuse me, if you're not going to buy a website and get that all set up and then have a professional email address, as in like, you know, Glenn at microbladingacademyusa.com or Leslie at browboss.com or, excuse me, eyebrowboss.com. If you're not going to go to that, you can very simply, and I highly recommend this, create an email address for yourself on Gmail like Leslie did here, and make sure it has the word microblading in it, or the brand name that you want to go by, like Brow Boss or Brow Boss Beauty, browbossbeauty@gmail.com, something like this, that it's recognizable, that it's similar to, at the very least, it's similar to the name that you're putting out there, that you're branding yourself with. So it doesn't, you know, it's not like she's marketing herself as Brow Boss Beauty _studio. And then she's got an email that says, you know, I don't know, Cinderella _79 at AOL.com. You know what I mean? Like it's totally inconsistent. It doesn't look professional. And you want to show the world that you're serious about this, that you are professional. And that's what we're talking about here. So definitely you need a call to action on your posts, and you need at least a semi-professional email address. So go ahead, Leslie.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Glenn. You should come up with a word. I think if you're doing microblading and your name, Jeanette, Luisa, something that, so it could be very easy, or microblading I don't know, your name or beauty or something like that. I think it's very important to create that, like you said, that action. What was the word?
The call to action.
Call to action, yes.
Leslie, could you describe to them how they could use this flyer that says models wanted, and why we're using the word models, and how it's applicable to them starting out at the very early stages of their business? Like if they're going to put this post up, what they're looking for, because you were looking for models for a particular class, they're still going to be looking for models, but they're looking for models that they're going to be working on. Can you describe that?
Yeah, well, you just have to put simple like it is, Glenn. I feel like you have to put like models wanted. I'm done with my course. I practice this much, you know, like tell a story, and like a very short story, you know, and I think it's going to be attractive. I think people are going to be like, oh, she went to the best academy for microblading. Oh, they use the best pigments. Oh, they use 100% disposable, you know. That's going to be attractive to that model or client. I feel like you have to put it as it is. You can't, like, you know, and then listen, and then when you start building a portfolio, and you feel like you're still not getting clients because your work is not good enough, now you have to charge because you've had so many models. Now go into charging $100 and then say testing, I don't know, you can make up a story too, which is not that bad, you know, to say like testing new pigment color, you know, because you want to test a certain color and I need a model and I'm charging only $100. And you know, people are going to volunteer with that too, but you have to make it like catchy. You have to like have it like not always be free, because a lot of people, when it's free, they don't want it sometimes. Sometimes maybe
totally agree.
Yeah, like you have to like be like, okay, I'm testing this new pigment color that I've never used before. I'm looking for a model. I'm charging $200. And then bam, you get an email from somebody that wants to be a model for that. So I feel like you have to get creative. You have to get creative. And that's what we're here for. That's why we're having this live streaming class, so we could talk about all of this and answer all your questions.
Leslie, let me mention something about what you said, because I really like how you came up with the idea of, hey, I'm testing out a new pigment color. One comment that I would make about that, two comments actually. Number one is, for all of you who are listening, the thing that stands out to me is Leslie's providing a reason. And this is the thing. If you're going to give something away either at a discounted price or for free, you have to provide an authentic reason why you're giving it away. You can't just give it away for the sake of giving it away. Otherwise, no one's going to believe that you're giving anything away. If you establish, for example, that, hey, the normal, you put up this flyer, let's say, and let's say you integrate your efforts online on social media to try to get models with efforts offline. Like, let's say you visit some local businesses and you go to, I don't know, there's a restaurant that I go to for lunch that's very close to here all the time, several times a week. And they always have very young, healthy, fit, attractive people at this place, working at the place, coming into the place and working at the place. If you were to talk to, literally, like as you're checking out, you just mentioned to the cashier an attractive woman, and you notice that she hasn't had microblading done, or her eyebrows are thin, or that you could provide her some value, right? And you mentioned to her, before you know it, you start up a, hey, you ever heard of microblading? Oh my God, it's so amazing. You should check this out. I do microblading. I normally charge quite a bit of money for this. It produces amazing results. But you know what? I'm actually working on some new pigments right now, and I'm offering the service at a crazy discount. If you'd like to be, I'm looking for models, you know? And I don't know if any of these other girls here that you have working here would be interested also. You could certainly let them, boom, all of a sudden, there you go. You have access to a whole bunch of people. That's just one business. You could go into another business. And if it makes you feel weird to literally walk in and knock on the door and just present yourself, if it feels weird to you that way, you could go in as a customer and go get lunch somewhere. And before you know it, you're in a conversation with the waitress, for example, and you notice, pay attention, see if there's other people in the restaurant that might be or working in the restaurant that might be prospects for this. All you need are models to work on. That's all you need. And if you're giving them the reason why there's a discount, like Leslie said, but you have to establish that the value of the service, the normal price, is whatever it is. I threw out that number $450. Maybe that's the right number for you to use. Maybe it's not the right number for you to use. You've got to research microblading in your area and consider the level of quality of work that you see. Leslie, I'm sort of stealing your your segment here. I'm not going to go into depth about it because Leslie will talk to you about how to establish your price and raise your prices. But you have to establish the value of your service at a higher point, and then offer the fact that you're doing it at a discount and why you're offering it at a discount. So I love those suggestions you made, Leslie. That's really good. Working with a new pigment is one idea. Using, hey, we're trying out some new techniques with microblading. And that way, if you kind of leave it vague, they don't know exactly, like if you say the specific color we're using, or I'm practicing a specific color that I've never used. Well, what color is it? Is it red? Is it green? Maybe I don't want green. You know what I mean? So I would suggest to you to provide a reason that is a reason that is flexible enough that you're not cornering yourself, like you're giving them a reason why they might not want to come to you because it's a weird color or it's a weird technique. But make it general. I'm trying out some new pigments, or I'm trying out a new tool that is phenomenal, and it's gotten amazing reviews, and that's a good enough reason to offer a discount. Good enough. Okay. So yeah. Leslie, any thoughts on that? Because I'd like to move on. It's 9:26. I want to jump on to how to set their prices and raise prices.
No, go ahead.
All right. So let's talk about, how would you suggest that they set their prices? And then we've talked about the concept of you called it a pricing timeline, I think. Yeah, the pricing timeline.
Yes, and I called it a pricing timeline because I feel like we have to set ourselves with little goals or with little numbers for us to move on, right? Because not everybody's going to feel ready enough to rise their price. Because then if I say, oh, you can rise your price when you're ready, when you feel more confident, I feel like we always have that, that concern or that low self-esteem on doing this. So I really think that we should do a pricing timeline, and we should name it number of models. We should have it in 2 sections, and then the price. So from my first to my 5th model, I'm going to charge them $50. And then once I reach my 6th model to my 10th model, I'm going to charge them $100. Like setting yourself goals. And I feel as you're rising your price up, I feel that you're gonna feel compromised to work better and maybe practice a little bit more before starting this models, right? Because as you're increasing, it should be better, and your portfolio should get better. Okay, so yeah, I came up with this idea because I thought it was the only way that we could start like building our price up with not feeling guilty. And
Leslie, I love this idea, and I just want to make a comment about the psychology behind it, because I think it's super, super important. When you mentioned that, you kind of think in your own mind, as many of you may be watching this, you're thinking like, oh, geez, I feel weird about, charging, or maybe you are charging 50 or 100, but you feel weird about raising the price, or you feel uncomfortable about it. And I'll raise my price when I feel ready. And like Leslie said, you may never feel ready, or even if you are ready, even if you may think that you're not as good as you really are, or you might not see the value that you're really providing. So I love the fact that Leslie's giving you a commitment to make to yourself, that you hold yourself accountable to, which you may even want to tell someone about this, or tell multiple people about it, and ask, like, find a buddy who's developed, maybe a friend you met in class who's also working on this at the same time, and you make a commitment together, but you hold each other accountable to raise your price at a certain point, because it forces you to do it. And by having that target, you're working on your 4th model, you have 1 more model at $50 before you have to raise your price to 100. And it's going to compel you, like Leslie was saying, to raise your standard, to raise your quality of work to the level that you feel that you deserve the raise that you're creating in your pricing. Leslie, I love that. I think this is a fantastic idea. And so could you, well, I think we talked, I think that kind of speaks for itself. Is there anything else that you want to add about that? Because I wanted to move on to.
I think it's pretty simple, Glenn, and it's easy to understand, I think.
Okay, perfect. Very good. So what about working on friends and family?
I would not do that. I would not do that. Why? Because you have them very close to you, you're going to see if you make a mistake. And I don't want you guys to get discouraged. I don't want, how they trust you so much. They're going to tell you how they really feel.
Right.
So I just feel like, and maybe they expect more from you. So I just wouldn't do it. I just will stay. Let that be your last choice. Okay. Let just be your last one on the list, because I really, I just feel like you have so many people to practice on. I just think it shouldn't be your family.
Yeah. And plus, if you screw them up, you got to look at it every day.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to screw up, right? But they're going to be more picky about it. if you did one stroke, and not where it belongs, one stroke, they're going to be like, oh, and I think that's to get discouraged. I feel like maybe you can ask your family and your friends, hey, do you know anybody at your work? Can you share? Can you spread the word? Or make little flyers, like very quick flyers that you could print out and say, hey, can you share this at work? Or can you put it on a bulletin board at your work? And maybe that could get you more models, but just not directly. It could be like separate from everything.
Right.
And I'm pretty, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with everything you said. I think that those are all important reasons, but you can take advantage of, I don't want to use the word take advantage, but because it doesn't sound right in this context, but if your friends and family want to help you, they're in a position to help you. And Leslie's giving you a great way for them to help you. But in doing so, it would help them help you if you had either a brochure or if you had a business card. Let me actually go get a brochure super quick so I can show everybody an idea.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, about the family thing, I know a lot of you guys say, oh, I have all my cousins and all my aunts and mom and my grandma. Just don't do it. Believe me, they're going to be on you. Those are the people that are more like hard, on you because they expect from you more. And I just don't want your feelings to get hurt. So yeah, I would.
Right.
Yeah. Just show them the flyer.
So, all right. So here, for example, this is a business card. I don't know if it's is the writing reversed for you, Leslie, when you're looking at this?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, because it's reflecting back to me reversed. But like here's our business card. Okay, so this is a business card, but on the back it says volunteer as a model and get your microblading for free. Now you might not want to put, like we're describing, get your microblading for free on your card, but certainly volunteer as a model, and the front of the card should clearly state exactly what it is that you do. It's best if you can have a logo created, and if any of you want to create a logo, I could just, contact us at info@microbladingacademyusa.com and request to be pointed in the direction of someone who could produce a logo for you, because I have someone who could do it for you for probably about $75. But you should have a logo. That's, it's one more, having a business card, having a logo, in addition to everything that we're describing, just it's several more things that take you to a more professional presentation of yourself. If you want to take it to the next level and get an actual professional website, we produce websites for our clients and for our students. Excuse me. Let me just show you what that looks like, and look how professional Leslie presents herself. First of all, she's got eyebrowboss.com. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. I got to remember with this new thing. I got to press this button here. All right, hang on. All right. So look how professionally Leslie presents herself. So if you click on her Instagram, right in her Instagram in the bio, you've got her website. So we produced this website for Leslie, and look how beautiful this is. It's immediately you see her logo. You see her color scheme that's consistent everywhere throughout all of her branding. That's a whole other subject. Look at this. It's got free microblading survival video. Top 10 tips for perfect microblading results. Get your free video so that you know exactly what to look for and what questions to ask. Who do you think this is for? This is for someone who's been following Leslie on her Instagram or her social media, or in whatever capacity. Maybe they got one of her brochures, or like a physical brochure, and they came to her website and they're interested in getting microblading. So wouldn't you think that person might be interested in the top 10 tips for perfect microblading results and a video that'll deliver to them? So just having a professional website, again, it's just an opportunity to present yourself just that much more professionally. So come back to, let's take this off screen sharing so I can show you this. So the important thing is, if you have a business card, right, and then volunteer as a model, this will help your friends and family promote you. That's one thing, but even better is to have a brochure like this. Because look at this brochure. You've got something that you can't fit on a business card. You've got a before and after picture. The before and after picture sells the service. Yes, you've got a couple of bullet points here that are pretty important, and you want to have a nice clean brochure with a call to action on the bottom. You see the call to action. Remember, you always have to have a call to action. If they're interested, what should they do next? So you can build your brochure off of a very similar model of what the similar kind of a template as what I'm showing you here. You don't have to have the same exact color scheme and the design elements, but if you follow the format where you have your logo at the top, or even just, your name or what it is that you do in a nice font, and then just talk about microblading and the best, most natural eyebrows, and then have a before and after picture, even if it's not your before and after picture, because you don't necessarily have the work to show yet. You can put this together. You could put something like this together to get you from 0 to the 10, 15 customers. Okay. And then you can certainly put on the back like this, volunteer to be a model and get your microblading done at a deeply discounted rate or for free, whatever you want to put there. Leslie?
And also, Glenn, not only like print it, that same one, you can have it on PDF on a computer, and you can share it on your social media. So you can have that same
exactly.
brand. And the branding is very important. Using a color scheme, it's very, very important because it attracts.
What about on your shirt? What about on your shirt? Can you stand up and show everybody your shirt? Like, look, here's Leslie's shirt. Wait, move your hair out of the way so they can see. So here, branding. This is Leslie branding herself.
So follow me on my social media, okay?
Yes, don't forget to follow Leslie. It's Brow Boss Beauty _studio. Brow Boss Beauty _studio.
And guess what? This shirt cost me like $3 to make, or like $5 to make. It's not expensive, really. It's not expensive. If you invest a little bit more, your clients see this. Your followers see this, so they want to go with you because they see how detailed you are. So guess what? They think you're going to be so detailed in doing their eyebrows. So it's very important, So
Leslie, if you don't mind, because we're going to run out of time. If any of you have questions, please post your questions now, because we're going to try to answer questions quickly. Maybe we'll do another, live streaming class like this again, because there's a lot more for us to get to, obviously. But just to very quickly summarize some of the things that we've talked about and some of the things that we haven't yet talked about that I would like to at least mention is referrals is really important. This is such a referral. I mean, how would I describe this? This business is ideal for referrals. It's so easy. It's such an easy thing to refer, and it's an easy thing that naturally comes up in conversation. So you do a great job for someone. Don't just hope referrals come in. Ask them for referrals. Do not be afraid to ask for referrals. If you're afraid to ask for referrals, get over it, and get over it fast, and ask for referrals. And the best time to ask for referrals is immediately when they're done with the service. And don't just ask for referrals. You should ask them, because just remember, you're giving them a tremendous value at a deeply discounted price, if not for free. But what I would suggest is, before you even do the service for them, ask them, if you're really pleased with the service, it would really help me a lot if you do a testimonial for me, or if you do a review for me, or a review and a testimonial, and recommend me to any friends or family that you think might be interested in the service. And then right when they're done, they're going to be looking at the mirror, and they're going to be super excited. That is the time when you literally ask them to take out their phone. You take out your phone and you show them how to do a review on your Facebook page, on your Facebook business page. You can't do reviews on a personal page. It's got to be a business page, but they can do it just like that. You can also ask them if they mind to just do a quick video testimonial just to show. Now, if they're uncomfortable speaking about their experience, they don't have to speak about the experience. You could actually just take the video camera, or excuse me, the phone, and you could just literally, like, a neat thing to do is to take any kind of a photo that you would normally just take as a photo, make it into a video, like a boomerang. Leslie, everybody knows what a boomerang is, right? I don't have to explain that.
Moving picture.
Yeah, that thing. So, but you can literally like take a very, I don't know, like a 10-second video just like this of eyebrows and move the camera around really slowly so it sees different angles of their face. And it really shows what was done with the eyebrows. And go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, jump in, please.
No, I just wanted to say something before you keep going. The referrals. You know, one thing that has worked for me a lot. So I tell them, so if this is your model, you could tell them as well, if you refer another model, when you come, because they're going to need a touch-up, right? Maybe you're going to tell them, you're going to need a touch-up, and your touch-up is going to be $50. This one doesn't have a price, but when you come back, it's going to be $50 for your touch-up. If you refer another model to me, I'm going to give you $10 off. Because it's a model, they're not going to pay you anything, right? So $10 off, and they're like, oh, I want to save myself $10. And then they refer somebody in there. You have another model. Now, when we're talking about clients, once you're already charging $200, $250, $300, whatever you want to charge, you can also tell them, if you, I'm very thankful. I get referrals all the time by my clients, and I want to pay back. I'm going to discount you $20 every single time you refer a client, and it's unlimited. If you refer 4 clients, it's going to be $80, you know, and they get motivated. Believe it or not, for those $20, they get motivated. And I also tell them, if you check in at my place, you get $5 off, like checking in.
Wait. Say that again. Yes, that's very important. That's a good one.
So if they check in, they say at Brow Boss or at Brows by Luisa, or, you know, if they check in, you get $5 off. And if you do this, you get, because it's free marketing. It's not costing you. It's probably not even costing you $5 because you're getting that profit. So it's not even costing you, I feel. And you could get from that post that she shared in like the check-in, 10 people are going to see it. And guess what? Maybe 4 people, 2 people, 3 people, I don't know. They're going to come to you. You're going to make more money off those $5. So you have to get smart about it and creative. Don't be afraid of investing, because you're going to invest your time. Maybe you're going to invest a few dollars, and it's okay, but you're going to grow.
Yes, sorry. And some of the ways that don't be sorry, Leslie. That was a great suggestion. Great suggestion. What I was going to say is, don't be when she's talking about investing. She in a lot of ways she's referring to investing in the form of taking some of the profit that you would make from future services and giving it back. So that's not even literally taking money out of your pocket to invest. That's the easiest kind of investment to make. It's just your time. That's such an easy investment to make. You need to do that. Make the decision now that you're going to invest in your business. Don't even worry about how much money you're going to make from doing this for a while. Focus on growing your business. Build your portfolio, build up your social media, build up Facebook, build up Pinterest, build up your video testimonials, your reviews on your Facebook page, fill up your Instagram account. Make sure it's not all before and after pictures. I hate when I see that everybody, you know, putting just before the same exact picture, like 500. Don't do that. Do what Leslie does and just look at her page, and you'll learn a lot from that. I don't want to get too far into that because that's enough of that. You can, social proof is one of the most important things. So those video testimonials, the reviews, catch them right when they're done, right when they're in the peak state of joy from what you've created for them. We talked about a website. If you're going to have a website, or if you have us build a website for you, or if you already have one, or you're going to build a website for yourself somewhere else, you want to integrate your social media. So you want to use the website as a call to action. Remember that call to action. You got to give them instructions. If you're interested, hey, I'm showing you all this cool stuff. If you're interested in getting in touch with me or learning more about what I do, getting involved in my services, come to my website where you can learn a lot more about me and the services that I provide. Leslie, I think we should, call it there. Let's see if we have any questions that we can answer real quick, and then we'll summarize what we learned today.
Before we go, Glenn, before we go on, I'm sorry. I just want to recommend for you guys to also open Yelp. That's all I'm saying. Yelp gives you very good reviews.
Yelp.
And that's all.
Yes, very good. Also, your Google Plus your Google Plus account as well, and getting reviews on Google also, because let's face it, this is a local business, and a lot of people are looking on Yelp, they're looking on Instagram, they're looking on Google. And so you want to try to get those reviews going and spread those reviews around in the beginning until you have, some reviews on multiple channels. All right, so Yelp is great. Yep. Oh, look, it's Master Claire Rosenberg is on the call today. So thank you, Master Claire Rosenberg.
I love you.
Very good suggestion there. Do you have any success with new customers using Yelp? Oh, so I guess Claire was answering that. Are we allowed to use photos of your work, Leslie, on our personal websites and business cards?
Are we allowed? For your business cards, I would not do that. I would just do social media, because remember, your clients are going to think that's your work. So they're going to expect for you guys to give them that work. And I don't feel like that's good, because they're paying a service for what you have in your business before and after pictures. I just feel it's good to use our photos if you have our logo on there and saying, I'm learning from them, or this is my colleagues. I'm practicing every day to get there. But I would not use them for what did she say, for website and business cards?
Yes.
Won't, because people are going to expect that you're going to do that quality of work, and if you're not there yet, they're going to give you bad reviews, and we don't want that.
Mm-hmm. If you don't have your private studio to practice on models, where would you perform microblading as a beginner?
Well, I will go and ask around. There's tattoo shops that have an extra bed, or there's spas that might rent you the day for $80, $60. I think it's worth the investment. Like I said, it's worth it. You look more professional that way. I started at home. I didn't look very professional. People loved my work, but I did hear, them saying, oh, she has beautiful work, but guess what? She works from home. And some people don't like that. So just do the investment. You already invested in this big thing, huge thing, a career change. Invest a little bit more. Maybe you're going to not make money, but maybe you're going to charge them $100, and that's what you're going to pay for being there a day. Maybe you do 3 models and you only pay $100 and you make $200 just at the beginning. But I would just find a spot and rent a little clean spot that you look more professional, and that word's going to spread.
I couldn't agree more. And yeah, not such a great idea probably to work from home. But listen, you got to get started somewhere. So just get started. That's the point, right? Is to get started. But I do like the idea that you suggested, Leslie, of finding one of these places that will rent for you for the day, because it's very likely that you don't have enough business in the very beginning to make a commitment where you're leasing even on a monthly basis or possibly even on a weekly basis. So if you can rent a location for one day where you can, get a couple of models and use that whole entire day, then it's not just $60 or $80 for one particular customer. It's $60 or $80 over 3 or 4 customers that you might be able to squeeze into that day. So make the most out of it. Yeah. And then you're not making a commitment. You're not compromising yourself until you feel ready to do that and you feel the demand for your services. All right, listen, guys, it's 50 minutes. I swore we would go 40 minutes. I don't know why it's so difficult to keep these live streaming classes to 40 minutes. It's just very difficult. But let's very quickly summarize what we went over to today. So the very first thing, if you're just starting out, like Leslie had mentioned, set up your social media, brand your social media, get a catchy name that people are going to remember, get an email address, particularly my suggestion is with Gmail, and get that set up. But you can even set up your Google Plus profile that way, so it's consistent. That way across Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Google Plus, YouTube, Yelp, whatever it is that you're going to use, you're making it consistent all the way across the board. Leslie had talked about using some of her work perhaps, or any other work that you see. You're going to see, especially if it's a Febrowse artist work, you're going to see their watermark And that's perfectly fine. Like Leslie said, throw that up on your social media, but make some comment about it. What did you say, Leslie? Like, oh, I love how she did this or that, or I love how we as Feebrows artists or Feebrows, in the world of Feebrows, if you're not necessarily a certified artist yet, you could say that Feebrows artist, I guess, if you're not yet, you're not saying I'm certified.
Say Feebrows student.
Feebrows student. Okay. In the world of
soon to be Feebrow artist. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So just be careful about that. Don't make claims that are not true, but you never want to do that. But you have to associate yourself with Feebrows. Feebrows is a very powerful, strong brand name, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger. And you want to leverage off of that. And so anyway, that's that point. And then what else did we talk about, Leslie? Give me something else we talked about. Get them involved in your journey. I'm sorry, but get them involved in your journey, right? You were telling them about your journey.
Your story through your Instagram. That's why it's like a story. It's for me, it's like a timeline, they could see the date started all the way to now. So it's like a timeline. They could go back and see when you started. So create good content that when they go back, they're proud to see that. Oh my God, she improved so much. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. It's very important. Also, Glenn, the pricing timeline. It's
pricing timeline.
It's like setting your goals and just that thing that's going to tell you, okay, I'm ready to charge $100. Okay.
Yes. Get an accountability partner, perhaps another student who's sort of at a similar level as you. Make commitments to one another to hold each other accountable. When you're going to start offering this discounted price of whatever it is, make sure you establish what the normal price is. And then here's why. You got to give them a reason why you're offering the discounted price, right? That was another important one. Okay. And is that enough, Leslie? Is that all of it?
Yeah. You know what, Glenn? Before we go, Alexandra, can you read her? Because she's very worried. I just want to answer before we go. Alexandra Reba, she keeps commenting.
Having difficulty, so doing the various things that we're talking about, doing boosted posts, gave away business cards, email me super interested saying they like my job, etc. After I tell them more info such as contraindications, general info, pricing, they never respond back. Seriously,
Yeah. Sorry, Glenn, for interrupting you. You know what, Alexandra? Get in contact with me. Contact me through Facebook and I will help you. I will help you, give you like more additional, maybe little tips. Maybe I'll send you screenshots of what I do and it will help you better.
Okay.
So
perfect.
You know where to contact me through Leslie Ritchie, right? On Facebooks.
Okay. And tell them again, what's your Instagram, Leslie?
It's Brow Boss Beauty _studio, I think. I just
I'll tell you. I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it into the chat so everybody can see it. Hold on one second.
And the same thing. It's for my my Facebook, Brow Boss by Leslie. Brow Boss by Leslie. Oh,
Alexandra says she already follows you, so she'll get in touch with you. All right, excellent. That's it, everybody. Good job, Leslie. This was our live streaming class on business building strategies. I'm Glenn Rosenberg, one of the owners of Feebrows Microblading Academy USA. That's Leslie Ritchie, Feebrows Master Trainer. And follow Leslie, yes. And we will be back soon with another live streaming class that hopefully will help get you guys to the next level. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Catch you in the next one.
Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.